While coasters are a huge draw for amusement parks, and especially us coaster enthusiasts, a good park always has great thrill rides to complement those towering coasters. Their technical name are flat rides, and today I'll be listing the 15 best flat rides in the United States with some help from my friend over at Beyond the Thrills, Nick. Make sure you guys go follow him on Instagram and check him out on YouTube. He puts out some great content. Now keep in mind these are only rides that we've ridden, so you may be seeing rides based out of the East Coast. However, there are plenty of models of them throughout the nation. Before we start the list, it would be awesome if you guys could like the video to go against the YouTube algorithm. Zumanjaro Drop of Doom is the world's tallest drop tower, coming in at 415 feet. While the drop may be weaker compared to other drop towers in terms of airtime, the height is absolutely unbeatable. The views of the park and surrounding area are stunning, and on a clear day you can even see the skyline of Philadelphia and maybe even Atlantic City. The seats are super open along with the restraints, so you feel very exposed to your surroundings. Also, if you're lucky enough to ride Zumanjaro while Kingda Ka is testing with no riders, the tower sways and shakes a little, but being 415 feet up makes it absolutely horrifying.
Now we have Hush Troikas. I've ridden two Hush Troikas, Kaleidoscope at Dorney Park and Honker Dinger Derby at Sesame Place, and both are very fun rides. Kaleidoscope is a larger version of this type of ride, and it has an awesome light package. I don't remember off the top of my head if Honker Dinger Derby has a light package, but Kaleidoscope sure does, and it is awesome.
Windseeker at Cedar Point is one of the most fun flat rides I've ever been on. While it isn't the best swinging tower ride, it's certainly thrilling being 300 feet up, and the views are absolutely incredible of the Sandusky shore.
Now we have Enterprise. This is a Huss Enterprise attraction. When you think of these attractions, Witch's Wheel at Cedar Point usually comes to mind because among enthusiasts, that's the most commonly well known. But I've only ridden Enterprise at Dorney Park, and I've been riding it for multiple years now, and every time I go to Dorney, I always want to go on Enterprise. It's a classic attraction. These kind of flat rides have been around for a really long time, and there has been rumors about Dorney possibly wanting to remove this attraction in coming years, but I hope they don't because I always like riding it when I go to Dorney.
The Flyers at Knoebels are one of the most fun flat rides out there. You can control the way you fly with your sail. This model was most likely made in-house or by a very old company and predates the Larson flying scooters. These fly much faster and way more intense than the Larson version. This is always a must-do whenever visiting the park.
Now we have the Hershey Towers. I've ridden all three of these, the Hershey's, the Reese's, and the Kisses. And personally, I think the Kisses Tower has the best airtime, but the Hershey's Tower is the most intense. The Reese's Tower, for whatever reason, seems to be the most popular among coaster enthusiasts, but overall, I think the Hershey's Tower is still my favorite. It's the tallest of the three, and I'm not saying that height and speed always makes a ride better, but in this case, I still gotta go with the Hershey's Tower. But overall, all three of them are great in different ways.
Sticking with S&S towers, I'll be putting three in the same spot just like the Hershey Triple Tower. Short Shot at Casino Pier, Double Shot at Castaway Cove, and Sasquatch at The Great Escape. These towers are the most forceful S&S towers I've been on, providing some of the best airtime and forces. Short Shot and Double Shot have an amazing launch with great pops of air at each blast, and have the longer double cycle. Sasquatch has two different sides, shoot up and drop down. The drop down side is absolutely amazing. It provides a great initial jolt of airtime and sustains it all the way down. Also not to mention, all these towers give amazing views in their respective areas.
Up next we have Scramblers. I think all of you have ridden a Scrambler at least once in your life. It's just one of those commonly known amusement park carnival attractions. But my favorite Scrambler has to be Centrifuge at Casino Pier. Casino Pier had this attraction prior to Hurricane Sandy, then it fell in the ocean. But in 2019, they brought it back, and I have to say, it was a great addition to the park. There are no other attractions like Centrifuge in the area, so props to Casino Pier for adding that. Another Scrambler that I would have liked to have gone on, but I didn't get around to, is Blizzard at Great Escape. You can definitely tell from the outside that it is more outdated, but they're both very similar attractions. Indoor, they both play music, and they both have fantastic light package.
Krang's Prime Pandemonium and American Dream is one of the most intense flat rides I've ridden. When the ride is in full swing, it provides bone-crushing positives in the bottom, and when the ride cycle stops at the top and hangs you, the hang time is absolutely unbelievable. The ride also comes very close to the ceiling when flipping upside down, and it's just a crazy foot chopper moment, especially with that fan right next to it.
Up next we have Funtime Flyers. These type of flat rides are always popular, but for me, they scare me. I still go on them because I basically ride anything at this point. But in terms of rides that scare me, Funtime Flyers scare me. I'm not going to deny it. I rode New England Sky Screamer at Six Flags New England during summer of 2019, and that was one of the most terrifying experiences of my life. But besides New England Sky Screamer, I've also ridden Sky Screamer at Great Adventure many times, and I've also been on Wonder Woman at Six Flags America. One thing I'd actually like to add about Wonder Woman is you can see Washington, D.C. and Baltimore from the top, which is an awesome view. If you look close enough, it's not quite as close, but when you're on Sky Screamer at Great Adventure, you can spot Philadelphia in the distance, which is also a great view.
S&S Screamin' Swings are one of the best flat rides out there, yet there aren't many of them. I've been on most of the ones in the US, being on Dorney's defunct smaller model, Thunder and Lightning at Lake Compounce, Skyhawk at Cedar Point, and Barnstormer at Dollywood. The only ones I have not been on are Great Canyon Swing, Finnegan's Flyers, and the one at Maury's Piers. The rides are also filled with airtime and have a great sense of speed when you're swinging back and forth. They also have super high capacity, and I simply do not understand why there aren't more of them.
Up next we have Zamperla Giant Discoveries. I've only ridden one of these, and that is Wonder Woman Lasso of Truth at Six Flags Great Adventure, and it is an awesome ride. It is so intense, so thrilling, and the adrenaline rush that you get with just the wind blowing in your face, the speed, it's awesome. I would have went on Harley Quinn Spinsanity when I was at Six Flags New England, but I didn't get around to it for whatever reason. But I've ridden Wonder Woman many times, and I'm very fortunate to have a Zamperla Giant Discovery at my home park.
Stratosphere at Knoebels is a great example of don't judge a book by its cover. This is a tiny drop tower, however it's one of the most powerful with its airtime. The ride truly shocked me and is currently one of my favorite drop towers. The airtime is strong and sustained all the way until you hit the brakes, and that drop, even though it's only less than 100 feet, it feels like it's forever.
Up next we have King's Dominion's Drop Tower. I only got one ride on this, and it was an awesome drop tower. It doesn't have the best airtime when talking about other drop towers I've ridden. I still think S&S drop towers like Double Shot at Castle Cove, Hershey Triple Towers, and Sure Shot at Casino Pier, I still think they give better airtime, but this had an awesome view of not only King's Dominion in general, but my favorite roller coaster, Intimidator 305. It's a great ride.
Demon Drop at Dorney Park is one of the more recent flat rides I've ridden on this list. This ride is a true classic, and it's the last of its kind in the United States. It is very easy to get some good airtime room with the minimalistic over-the-shoulder restraints, and this ride has it for sure. Those cars drop like a rock, and you feel every bit of it. Falling onto your back is also insane. It almost feels like the start of a pretzel loop on the B&M Flyers. Overall, probably the best drop tower I've ridden. Hope everyone enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to like the video, and even consider subscribing for more theme park centered videos. Make sure you comment down below some of your favorite flat rides and if you agree with us or not. And of course, don't forget to go check out Nick on YouTube and Instagram at Beyond the Thrills. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you all in the next video.